Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there, and I will give them and welcome to another Monday night podcast. I don't feel like trying to remember the name, it's very long. But as you know, I always said anyway, the Geek-Inspired Podcast, yes, with all tunes underneath us here, myself and Kez, ziff-diffie and Kez, and to our right, that way,
left. That way.
To left to our right is the one, the only, the magnificent Tom.
Spider-Man! Oh, you mean your real names. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, your real name, Tom, not Miles.
ChickenWingerZ or Spider-Man.
Tom slash ChickenWingerZ slash Spider-Man slash Miles Morales slash.
I've got a lot of names.
A man who goes by many names.
A lot of names. Unless you're called a lot of names in school, then it's not a good thing.
Oh no! Yeah. For some reason, I don't know if you've had this thing where you have a short name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like your full name, and then everyone decides to expand on it. But when you have a long name, everyone's like, let's shorten it. How does that even work?
Yeah, I've got a short name that's expanded on. Some people have called me Ross Delicious. I have no idea why.
People like to be counterculture. Like, what I used to do is whenever I had friends that had like, especially because like I grew up in the Indian township Chatsworth, but I had some friends that didn't have very like Indian sounding names, so because they were brought up Christian, so that I would rename them into like an Indian way. So like I had a friend named Owen, and I call him Owen now then because his name wasn't Indian enough.
Great.
That's what I did. But yeah, it's like it's just a fun thing people do. I think it's endearing. It's better than just being boring and normal. Just like call your normal name.
True.
Also, if people called me by my full name, first of all, it doesn't happen very often because it's difficult. It's got like 4 syllables. It's an proper Indian name. It's like not going down. Like Yanis is enough.
Give me the challenge. I have a history of singing a lot of Bollywood songs. I think I've got pronunciation down.
Okay, then pronounce my name. You should know the full name.
Full name?
Well, I'm not going to tell you it now.
Sing some Bollywood for us.
That depends. What do you want me to sing?
I don't know.
I think we're digressing far too much. So where did the name ChickenWingerZ come from?
Oh, that's a good question.
Funny story. That is also a very much mystery to me because there's two like origin stories. One is actually because I had a grand who always liked to eat, like when it was dinner time, of all the pieces of chicken she'd eat the wing, and like it was after she passed away is when I started calling myself that. So it could be linked to that, or it's because I have no idea. Just the one day I shouted it out loud. Then I'm like, you know what? This is my gamer name. This is it. I am going to
right
chicken wings. So it's just like, okay, this is it. I'm owning this now.
You know, that just reminds me of Eddie G when he goes, Chicken Dippers!
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It certainly stands out, I think, at least.
Yeah.
ChickenWingerZ.
I was trying your Twitter and your Instagram and your Twitch and all that, trying to obviously dig up some dirt on you.
Facebook stalking.
Stalked.
Couldn't anything. The other stuff.
Sorry,
and while I was on Twitch, I actually saw that you and Kuya, and by the way, Kuya says chicken wings. So
chicken wings, Kuya.
What's up, bro?
I saw that you and Kuya and JJ, and I'm not sure who else are doing a D&D thing. So how did Garden of Kadesh?
Was it?
Right.
I had
Perfect,
no idea
because
this existed.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Right. So the
I'm,
Garden of Kadesh was it was a D&D idea created by Adeptus Cosplay. I'm not sure if you know him.
Adeptus.
At that moment, I'm like, wait, and how to explain? I can't explain his cosplay. I forgot his main cosplay, but you can find him on Instagram. So he came up with the idea, and him and JJ was like, you know what? I've got a place. I haven't D&D before. Haley hasn't, and neither have I. So, Kuya has a history, and as well as our other two friends, but then Tamsin. Well, because Tamsin stayed with Haley, they were like, you know what? Let's have a D&D session, and we all dived into that. The actual origin of it, because luckily enough, I asked Jason like a day ago to be like, tell me the origin, please. And let me just get the. And you're right. The curse of having I should really make this finger the unlock phone finger when I have the costume on it. It's tough trying to type in a password. So yes, Jason was saying that in all honesty, it was a mix of so many different things because it's from two main sources. First, an inspiration where the game Homeworld, where the name Garden of Kadesh actually comes from, and Nausicaa, I think, of the Valley of the Wind, which is a Studio Ghibli movie. He got his idea mainly from there, and then took a lot of different pop culture references and all that, and created his world.
Nice. That's actually quite cool.
It is.
So shout out to Adeptus. Thank you, man. It's been a great story.
Round of applause.
Cool. I need to get deeper
I know
into
most
this.
of the cosplay names.
Kiz knows most of them.
I'm not adept in the cosplay scene at all.
I'm a
It's
gamer.
Kez's thing. Yeah.
It's
not
definitely Kez's thing. I'm a gamer. I play the games. And apparently I'm a talent. She says. Right. She does this to me. She makes me ask the questions. So I'm going to ask the questions. Word for word. Dyslexia-like.
Oh no, I'm
What?
prepared.
I'm dyslexic, so I'm allowed to read like this. What made you... I'm kidding. What made you decide to get into the geek and gaming community?
Right, so origin story once more for Tom because I have Miles. So I can't tell you Miles' origin story.
God, you have any of us.
Need to
Right.
combine two origin stories.
So in terms of the geek and game community, it was back when I was much younger. So even more back. So my mom, when she was alive, she worked for a Jewish family as a helper. And during that time of my upbringing, I was basically treated as part of their family. So they had the youngest but oldest son who I also see as my brother, where he used to be all in the computers and the tech and everything. He used to run a gaming company, and then he moved on to something else called Wallet Doc. But during that time, I was like, whoa, teach me. And then, so in terms of computers, because that's why I'm also in the, also IT industry, is he basically showed me a bit of everything that has to do with computers. He tried to teach me coding, and I don't know why I've not been able to enjoy coding as much. But I think that's because I'm a bit like, I'd rather see the people than sit and go.
You like breaking the computers.
Yes.
Like me.
Exactly.
You like ripping them into pieces and putting them back together.
Exactly. Oh, that's great. I think that was one of the biggest points is when I saw the inside of a computer for the first time, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was like me.
And
Where
then,
do all these parts fit?
right? The one computer I tried to take apart, I could not fix because I was young enough to be old enough to experience dial-up. So I, like literally, I was young, but I was old enough to experience the whole dial-up and like, oh my word! And so there wasn't internet at the time, so So I didn't just have the time to ask, like, can you tell me what each thing is? So I took the computer apart, completely forgot how I did it, and I never put the computer back ever again.
Every technician's first experience with a computer, dude. That is every technician's first experience with a computer.
And then on the geek side, it's just I've always enjoyed it, from the cartoons, from the comics. It's just always been a thing I've somehow surrounded myself with, whether I knew it or not. And then I grew into it, and I've been loving it ever since.
And how did you get into Twitch specifically, or streaming on Twitch?
Like, and then on Twitch was like, you know what? I want to see if I can just build a general random community of people that like to talk and play games. Like Twitch right now, and based on, it was a bit of a refresher because there was another person on Twitch in another country called Bron X or something, where he got flooded with subscribers, and he was like, what guys, no, like, you're in quarantine, keep your money, like, I don't need it. And it was kind of like a humbling refresher to be like, remember, Tom, even though it's like one view or this or that, it's not for subscribers, just because you want to create a community and you want to, like, you want to make friends just a lot more, you want to expand the reach than you currently have. And I don't know, it's just it's been interesting. It's been interesting. I'd say why did I open my email? Okay, sorry. There's like a key, like there's a button on my keyboard
Stay
that's linked
focused,
to
Tom.
opening
Stay
up my
focused.
email app. So, yeah, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm doing this. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how much time it takes. Well, okay, I kind of do because I need to sleep, but I just knew that I will do this and, yeah, non-stop enjoying it.
That's good. It's very good, actually.
Yeah. Go Tom.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's Chip's turn now.
Yeah.
What are you doing when you're not doing all of that stuff? Like
Work, or still gaming, or just basically, I'm thinking of, I actually watched 2 of your podcasts in the recent days, because as I was saying from the last, because unfortunately I missed your last podcast, but the podcast, I think with Previn with Headshot Cosplay, the whole learning to do a podcast was something I was doing. So I was like trying to learn from you guys, and then like when you put me on the WhatsApp group, when you send me the questionnaire, I was like, oh my word, that is like, you know, like if I had to build a podcast, like I'm learning from you guys that eventually one day, if I ever start one, you know, I'm learning from the masters.
For one, you shouldn't take that attitude of one day. You should just start it.
You should not take any advice we give you.
No.
You can't take advice that we give you, but like the questionnaire is actually Tunes' fault, because the Geek-Inspired Podcast was his. And he started and I just started like there was actually, as far as I know, and I stand to be corrected, there was just like a general set of questions that went out. And I've now gone and I'm tailoring it to every single person. Because I like doing it, because you find
it's professional.
People don't know about, and it makes a difference. But for your podcast, you don't have to do that. You can just like wing it.
You don't have to do that. Wing it. But what I was trying to say is that you don't have to take that attitude where one day you will start. You should just start and it will evolve over time. Because the thing is, like, with these type of things, there's a lot of stuff you have to learn, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to become like second nature, so that you don't have to think about it, so that you keep on learning new things. So just starting and improving, and even if the first one doesn't like succeed, you just then start a new one, but then you have all of the knowledge that you learned, and then you build up and you go. So I wouldn't take the attitude where like, hey, one day I'm gonna start this thing that's gonna be amazing. You rather start something now and then build it up over time.
Yes.
It's always going to be one day I'll do it, and then one day will never actually come.
It was, I guess you could say, the Twitch stream is also a part of it because I don't know, knowing myself in terms of like public speaking, it's weird. Like if it's focused, my brain just goes. If it's unfocused, if I'm unhinged, then I go full Tom. So the Twitch is also, I forgot to mention that Twitch is also like the stream is like a way for me to release myself, because even though it's like, okay, there's an audience in there, it's like, remember, it's also just you. Don't think about the audience. If they like how you are, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. So it's just trying to get the whole, don't be nervous, keep going, keep learning, as Giannis was saying.
Yeah, look, dude, taking the center stage as a streamer is never an easy thing. Not in the beginning. When you start, it's like you don't know what to do with yourself while you're streaming. And you're worried about what you look like because, you're not doing anything. But believe me, you get used to the fact that sometimes you get focused. And people like watching you focus. I don't understand why, but you get this like intense focus on your face. That's why I wanted to try Gran Turismo at one point, because I get this like really intense focus on my face when I'm racing. And I thought that would be the right way to do it. So when you do it, do the same thing. Follow the advice of other streamers out there, and when they say to you, like for example, what we're saying, allow the shit to just happen and be who you are. If you're going to be that, if you're going to be that person who sits there and focuses on the screen, do it. Why not?
Yeah, but also don't focus on if people are watching you. That's one thing.
Yeah, one of our friends told us that actually.
Because if you do that, then you're doing it for the wrong reason, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
If people like you, then they'll watch you. If they don't, then they won't. that market that you actually cater to.
Yeah.
And if you sit there waiting for someone to watch you, and then like this, you change your personality, when someone's actually on, then they're gonna pick it up. So whether you're streaming to no people or 7 million people, just be yourself.
Yeah, don't think that what Kez means by that is, like, for example, if you're sitting there and you're playing a game and no one said a comment or anything, and you're busy playing, and then suddenly a comment appears, you go, "Hey, how are you doing?" That you got to do, because that's something that I do on stream, because it's an excitement thing. That's something that you should focus on as well. It's just be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't act like someone else. The best way I can say it is, as a musician, if you look at what a musician does, okay, what musicians do is they focus on creating a different persona for themselves when they're on stage, but they have to be that persona all the time. It's the hardest thing to do as a musician. So they say, don't do what musicians do what you do.
And on that segue.
Good segue!
What is the biggest challenge you have come across, whether it's streaming, gaming, or creating a cosplay app?
Okay, so in terms of, for the cosplay one, I would say I'm not a cosplayer. I just like to wear the Spider-Man suit. But I can answer more towards the streaming, and that is, at times, I guess it's for any streamers. Like sometimes you're streaming, like you'll go 2 hours in or anything, and then you're about to end a stream, and like you're like, I didn't. Even though you know what your goal is, sometimes it's the whole with the people, like I didn't get viewer, or it's kind of like, am I not reaching out enough, or is that something? Do I continue? But then I was like, you know what? You got to keep continuing. As you say, you just got to keep continuing. If people like you, they will watch you. They will find you. And honestly, it's more, leave it up to fate. To faith.
Yeah, just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, keep on keeping on. And that's been good for me. Because it's the same as you're saying with the podcast. Sorry?
Some stuff for Kuya. From Kuya. He's giving you some advice here. Turn your viewer counter off.
Kuya, do not worry. I think it was like a day 4 or part 4 of me streaming. I did watch YouTube video like, you don't need that viewer count. So that has been off. I've learned to turn that viewer count off. It's good. It is actually really good. Way better than having it there and you're like,
Oh, did they freeze?
They freeze. I think they
The
froze.
SA Geeks are frozen in time.
Oi.
We must now journey to the sands of time to release them from whence they came.
But to be honest, it's a good freeze. Like, they're smiling. It's
Yeah,
a
at
very
least
good
they aren't in a
freeze.
weird position. Like, oh, there they are. They're back.
Hey!
Sorry.
Sorry.
Our internet decided to
You
be
guys
a bit
kick
of
a cable again.
Stop working.
Technical difficulties.
What is
one technical
what is a
difficulty
Geek-Inspired
for
podcast
this
without technical difficulties?
No.
Right?
Well,
It's true.
if we don't get technical difficulties, then we'll lose our spot as the number one technical difficulties podcast on Twitch.
Yeah, not close then. Whatever it's doing is blocking the blocking it for me, so I can't see if it's running on orange, red, or green. Anyway, sorry about that, and sorry to our viewers. That was an unexpected halt. So you were saying before our stream was abruptly interrupted, you stopped like this.
No, you guys stopped, and you stopped again.
Yeah, you guys
You
stopped.
froze. You froze in that room.
So before we were rudely interrupted, and you were doing this.
We're thinking about something, I think. I don't know.
What were you thinking about?
The train of thought, where did you hear before?
Yeah, I totally lost what we were talking about. Yes.
It was the viewer counter and removing it.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
yes. So I was saying, during my beginner period of the streaming thing, I did have the viewer counter on at some point, and then I watched a few more videos, and like, actually, I don't need the viewer counter anymore. So thank you, Kuya. Don't worry. On the fourth or fifth of my streams, I did turn off the viewer counter because it's good to not have that thing there, because then your brain somehow subconsciously like wants to look like
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
And you're like, you get despondent and upset and sad. We know a few people who do that because they get sad at the fact that they're not getting any viewers
Not
and all
enough
that,
people watching.
or not enough people are watching them or whatnot. But you know, if that's what you're doing it for, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You know, you should be doing it and doing any kind of stream for the love of streaming. Kez and I do it for the love of streaming. Giannis does it for the love of streaming. I'm hoping you do the same thing. It's as content creators, that's what you guys should be. Well, we should all be focusing on, to be honest. Anyways, a bit too serious there.
Do you have any cosplay outfits that you regret?
No, actually, I have another cosplay outfit, which is the Natsu one, but there's none that I regret. As I said, it's mainly just Spider-Man and then Natsu from Fairy Tail. I don't.
When is Natsu?
Oh, Natsu.
Natsu.
The cat.
I thought you
No,
said
not the cat.
Nazi.
No, I'm not cosplaying the cat. Don't worry.
Don't cosplay my cat.
That would be cool though. Natsu, cosplay Natsu the cat.
As Natsu.
As
Yes, I need to
Natsu.
get him. I need to do that at some point. It needs to happen. It's on my bucket list.
So
I
where is Natsu?
just have to
then?
get him like a dishcloth that's shaped like his scarf, and then like a little like jacket thing, and he's sorted. He's the Natsu.
I'll ask
Natsu
Katie. She
Seption.
made her own one.
Chins? Where's
Hmm?
Natsu?
He's outside.
He's not disrupting.
He's outside the door
No, I'm
somewhere.
not ruining parts of the stream. It's like that's the other part of the Geek-Inspired podcast.
There's nothing for him to ruin right now. There's no background.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like, where's the famous background?
Yeah,
I'm in a
the
different
background
city
is
right
before
now.
Natsu gets hold of it.
Ah.
That background is in Port Elizabeth. I'm in Durban right now. Now
You like our green screen? It's beautiful, isn't it? It's the
And,
green
like-
screen
We have a
of
green screen.
the lounge
Yeah,
behind us.
The next thing on my wish list is either gonna be one of those Elgato like green screens, the one that you can pull up, or the Stream Deck. I'm gonna have to like like flip a coin.
Versus the Stream Deck.
I think the Stream Deck might be more useful, but that thing is like you can fold it away so easily. Like, I don't know. It's going to be a tough decision, but also the Stream Deck is expensive now, and especially with exchange rate.
It's not expensive, man.
You guys keep doing that, and it keeps breaking my heart. I need to start earning in foreign currency. I need to stop earning in rands. It's a waste of money.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, they've got openings at Edinburgh and Glasgow University for marine biologists. You're welcome to go to either.
I need to check it out. I'm technically earning less over time, earning the same amount of money.
Well, that's not good.
Oh yeah, flip.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the shit we talk about when stuck in quarantine.
Yeah, now we're going to get into the economics of being a scientist and a content creator. It's not cheap.
The monthly earnings of a standard content creator.
Usually zero. Usually you're funding it with something else.
Is that with the job that they actually have, or is it separate from the entire?
Well, the actual content creation is actually you're at a loss for like 5 years. You start like you're funding it with something else.
Yeah, do you remember that collection that you guys saw of games that the SA Geeks had collected, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It expanded a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Jeez.
Because they're so damn cheap here. You have no idea. Honestly, we're going to get you guys up here and buy you a couple of games as gifts.
Stop talking,
Well,
please.
what we could do is buy it and then send it.
It'll never get to them. That's why they're going to take it.
Yeah.
South African Post Office.
Right? 1 year later.
No, dude.
No, not just
And
that.
These
That's
are
why
PS4 or what do you play on? What's your platform?
Oh, me? PC.
No, well then it's fine for you. You can just buy something on Steam.
Steam.
But Tunes, if we get him a PS4 game, it'll never get to him. If we get you a Switch game,
No, but
you'll never get it.
can gift on the PS4.
Well, I mean, the PS4 sales on the PSN are not bad these days.
No, they aren't. They're
If
actually
you're
quite good.
patient, if you're buying new
Anyway.
ones, terrible.
Kuya has
Sorry.
a question for you. He's asking, what are your plans for the Twitch channel? Do you want it to be family friendly, just chaos, or whatever?
You know, like fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Controlled chaos.
No such thing.
What is controlled chaos?
So because of all the people I know, I can't exactly make it family friendly because some people are going to drop F-bombs here and there. But I can basically... So that I can't control. But the chaos is basically... They're doing whatever...
There's a ladder.
Yeah, like... They just gotta make sure that they don't cross the line. That's all. You know?
The invisible line.
A good thing would be to set the line first and say where the line is.
Yeah, always set the line first.
Yeah.
Explain to your viewers what, or have like a bot or something, explain to your viewers what they can and
Or
cannot
the
say.
people that come onto your channel.
Or the people that come onto your channel. Yes, you don't want... Sorry?
Oh, no, I'm saying, yeah, I need to, like, I know in some streams have the rules and things pop up before they chat. So I need to set that tiny window up. Only just yesterday I learned how to make the Nightbot play music. And that was...
Nice. You should teach me.
No, we haven't set our bot up to play music yet.
And Awali said,
Welcome, Awali.
and or you'll watch the stream later and enjoy. So it's like
Oh, thank you, Wally.
Yeah, thanks
All the
for
best.
watching for a few seconds. We'll see you later.
Weird.
He drew...
Well, Wally spoke quite a few on the YouTube stream. He did. The last thing he said was, "Guys, I want to start streaming too. It looks so damn fun." Well, just start.
Oh, it would be great.
Yeah, and we'll have like a big ass stream party. You know, we'll do
a streamer's ball.
Yeah, we'll have a Creators United again. Just
Crazy.
we're still carrying on with it, whether everyone else does or not. Kez and I are still going to keep the Creators United going.
of just doing it like this, like online,
Yeah,
like
the quarantine
I
is
said last
swing us
week.
around. Yeah.
Because I mean, if I can find it quickly, he drew me as Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because
Cool.
yeah, because I share the same birthday with them.
Oh, I
That's-
see.
That's pretty entertaining because it's like of all the characters, Kaiba.
Seto
That's
Kaiba.
pretty cool.
Kaiba was a character.
This one.
That's my turn.
I think it's Tuesday. Oh, that's cool.
That is
I
freaking
never
awesome.
saw
Mthambo.
that.
That's pretty cool.
Looks so sick. So thank you to Awali for this.
Dude.
You gotta start looking
Sorry?
down on people now for not having money. That's-
And you start painting my wall blue with tiny cartoon dragons all over it.
yeah, just collect a bunch of dragons. It'll be like rules. Rules are for poor people.
Screw the rules. I have money.
Money. Would you cosplay Seto Kaiba now that you've been drawn as him?
I would. I just don't have that that intense.
That intenseness.
I'm too happy. I'm
Yeah.
like I'll be running
I
around the
suppose.
convention like
Yeah.
Kaiba.
Seto
What's wrong?
Kaiba.
You're supposed to be curious.
He can smile as much as he wants to, and no one will ever know.
What was the first convention that you went to?
Rage. Definitely Rage. Cause
Which one? Which year?
Oh, right, the year flipped. That is okay. One I think was in 2003, which I hardly actually remember, and then the next one was in 2010. Give it, I think.
Okay, solid.
Yeah,
10 years
which
ago.
I remember better, and I was just like, in that my brain was actually developed enough to be like, ooh, things, technology, games. Yeah, and then ever since Rage, I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con, but then the only Comic-Con that ever happened was out of the country. So it's like, I will save up, and then lo and behold,
Oh, that
Which
money
is
you saved
here.
up was that con.
Well, hey, why not?
Exactly.
true,
Close enough.
yeah, but it's been a great experience with all the cons, and unfortunately, well, we're not sure about what's happening with Comic-Con Africa in September, but I'm still looking forward to it. Even whether it happens this year or next year, I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're gonna be tough to tell what's gonna happen with the Lady Corona at our heels.
For you. If you could go back in time and give the past you any advice, what would it be?
The past me any advice? Go back in time. I've thought about this so many times, and okay. Never change who you are. Yeah. Hello. Greetings.
What is happening?
Yes, I promised you I'll wear the suit in the podcast. And gentlemen, my girlfriend.
Hello.
Hey!
We can't see your
We can't
face.
see your face.
They can't see your face, Ailey. It's not. It's so
No,
shy.
you must put her on camera eating so we can all watch her again.
Yeah.
You know what they said? We must feature in camera so you can all watch you eat.
She hates it.
I've got. You can eat this.
She came to our farewell, right? And I think it was Tom or JJ said that we must all stare at her eating a piece of chicken, so we did. And she hated
And
it.
she was starving as well.
Yeah, she didn't want to eat, and then we all just like stared at her until she ate. That was
Same.
pure teamwork.
Oh dear.
Right.
She was starving as well.
So she's not starting a mukbang YouTube channel anytime soon. The last person.
Right, so you got to the point of saying never change.
Yeah. So never change, and just a tiny bit of always make sure the person you're helping actually needs the help. Because I feel like over my time I've helped many people, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, we don't know who we are anymore, or they fade, or like they just for some reason, like after they help you or anything, they don't need your help anymore. They're not friends with you. And I'm not just talking about a person that you know for like a few weeks. I'm talking about people you might know for years, and then you just help them with anything, and then gone all of a sudden, and you try to keep contact with them, and then they just pretend like you've never ever existed, or
I pointed the finger at Kez, but I'm also to blame for that.
Doing favors for friends is like one of the worst things. You shouldn't tie friendship and money, and you shouldn't tie friendship and favors. Because it becomes part of the friendship for some reason, and then when you take it away, when you can't like give them what what they're expecting, then it affects the friendship. It's one of the weirdest things about society. I don't know,
but it's not even. But honestly, like it's not even money, because I know a few people where it's not just money; it's attention. It's like, money and attention, I guess. It's like the expectation that you'll always be there.
It's expectation,
and like when I saw a picture on Facebook today with a counter quote where the person was like, "If your people don't check up on you while in quarantine, well then, you know, they're not your good friends." And then the counter one is just like, during a time like this, during a pandemic, it doesn't, whether they can't keep in contact with you or not is not whether they're good friends with you or not. They need to look after themselves and make sure they're okay before they can just like, you know,
spend any energy on you.
It's an intense time that we're all going through, and like I am keeping contact with people here and there, but right now it's not. My main focus is to make sure I'm working, make sure my family, because the time my mom did pass away, the family she worked with said I can stay with them for until I move out, you know, so I can save up and move out and everything. So I lost train of thought there. So they're both like in their late 70s now, and one's got diabetes. So for me right now, it's like and for myself, because when I was in Mauritius before I came back to SA, because I was working in Mauritius for a few months as a replacement IT guy for our company's team in Mauritius, I caught TB. So the final month, technically I feel like it's kind of my fault, because at the time I thought it was just a normal cough. I didn't have any of the severe side effects besides the night sweats. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm not feeling well. And it went bad. But I was in hospital for about 3 or 4 months, from February until May. And so I have a cavity in one of my lungs. So overexertion is a bit like bad for me sometimes. So because of the hole in my lung, or the cavity, I managed to start working from home way before things got bad in SA for the coronavirus. So it's just like, I need to make sure everyone here is safe and happy and everything. And then because now I know I'm able to message everyone else and everything, because we've kept ourselves under control and our environment under control. So but it's a weird time for us.
But also keep yourself safe though, dude. I mean, you know, you guys, people who caught TB are also at risk. You know, people, they've said that you guys are at risk just as much as anyone else, because you know it's a lung problem. It's a bacteria that buggers around with your lungs, and as you said, you've got a cavity in your lung now. That can affect you seriously. Or this virus can affect you seriously. It's good to keep you safe as well. We'd like to see you at the rest of the cons. You just keep your ass safe, dude.
Will do.
You're safe.
On the note of Corona, how do you feel about all these cons being cancelled and postponed and pushed back? And you know, as a cosplayer, I'm sure with your planning, it's rough. So
honestly, it does suck. honestly, it does suck, but like I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree it's for the better. It's for the best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, humans are forever, and cons. As long as humans are alive, there'll always be cons. So, hey, what a year of no cons is better because we'll all be alive for the next year to have even bigger and better cons.
And the SA Geeks are trying to save up money to get there, by the way.
We will see you here. Hello?
I'm
tapping my headset as if I'm like it's got an audio feature.
Right? A very random question, and I put it in there just because you started the D&D thing, and obviously you like cosplay. Would you consider getting involved in LARPing if you're not involved in it already?
Yes. I don't know if it was Icon or last year or so. We did a Star Wars LARP in a tavern, and yes, just yes. It was great. It was great. Because we had to so basically there was an assassin or someone that had like a bounty on their head, and we had to find that person the bounty. So only one person knew, and we all had to pretend like, oh no, I don't know anything, and it was great. And the way some of the actual people that LARP the way they act is just as it's like, okay, I'm about to break character. You too good at this. But yes, I would definitely LARP.
What character and class would you choose, though?
Actually, speaking of that, if Comic-Con Africa does happen this year, we were gonna do the D&D people. We were gonna do our characters at CCA one of the days, and maybe do a tiny show. Was it? Yeah, and like do a tiny LARPing session.
Oh.
What's your favorite part about the tabletop experience, and what would you like to then transfer from that into LARPing?
Well, for me, so like with the old tabletops in D&D, it's still a bit more fresh to me, but we need a giant dice. Just for like we had to do like a real life D&D. We need a giant dice. Just to throw.
Yeah, just like throw
exactly.
Use it as a weapon. Yeah. You need a maul with like a D20 on the one side and hit people with it. That's the closest you can get.
Yes.
It's the D20
we need
mace.
Giant dice.
Yeah.
Man. Thought someone was going to ask a question. Fine, I'll ask the next question.
I'm waiting for you guys.
Plushie.
Yeah, there you go. Giant D20 plushie.
Yeah.
Hey, well, what's the one thing that no one knows about you? Something that you don't mind sharing, but no one really knows.
I think many people know, but I once had to swallow a USB because I almost choked on it.
You what?
I had to swallow a USB because I was choking on it.
Why? It in your mouth?
Why? Exactly.
Okay, so what? Okay, so this USB was a USB I've been looking for like many years, and I found it. So then I went to my room and I needed to pick up something from under my bed. And as I got into the room, I was like, okay, USB in hand, bed there, table there. Like, you know, USB in mouth. Let me try and find what I need under the bed. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I slipped, so and now it's stuck here. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not coming out, so.
And let me guess, you hunted for it afterwards.
Yeah, my best friend was like, Tom, you have to find it. So, 2 days later, full gloves, like elastic band, like everything.
God damn. Why? Why?
I found
Where
it.
Was your safety and health officer?
So I found it. I went to
was
wash
the Corona task force during this time?
the Corona task force. No, I had gloves, guys. I had gloves.
Okay. Did you have
And
a
then
mask?
basically,
as well?
I wanted to wash it. No, unfortunately, I didn't think of the mask part. So as I was trying to wash it so I can maybe see, like I had an older laptop to test if it would work. As I'm washing it, I dropped it down the drain, so it's gone forever. So, in the space of 3 days, I found the USB and I lost it.
And you lose it, and you lose it again. Yeah.
Yep, and I'll definitely never be able to find it ever again.
Please don't go to the sewer plant now. Like, end this quest right here. This was a side quest. This wasn't the main
It's on a
quest.
side quest.
Well, so if ever you guys wanted to know, this is by far the most disgusting question that has been answered. The disgusting word this question has
It
been
was the
answered.
funniest moment on the podcast so far.
He swallowed and shat out a USB stick.
At least you know.
Yes, that
Hey,
is
at least
so-
you know if you do have a USB and you swallow it, it's not going to dissolve in your stomach acids.
No.
No, it wouldn't.
Wait,
That's
I'm trying to find the measurement of how.
So it is.
Probably
That's
okay. It's not the stick, but it was that. It was basically that.
Yes, dude, that came out. That went through.
Yeah, it wasn't thick like that. It was very thin. It was just long. That's all. But it was thin.
Yes.
Haley says that story always makes her question her life choices.
I love you.
As you should. As they should. As it should.
And Kuya says great story.
The best. I think that was the best story I've heard in 2020.
It
Yeah.
That was the best story. That's what happened to 2020 Vision right there.
That's what happened.
I think Tom says to never swallow another USB stick ever again.
Funny story. Since then, I've actually never ever put a USB near my mouth. Subconsciously, I've never ever put a USB near my mouth.
That's evolution at work. That is good.
Was it that big?
Slightly, yeah. Just slightly bigger, but
Why do you need these
Lucky
details,
thing.
Ross? Like, what do you need that detail for? Like,
That's big.
oh, okay.
Okay,
I guess the camera is making it a bit smaller, but yeah.
right. In other news,
Nothing.
what would be your most favorite thing, like pie in the sky cosplay, to do?
Reinhardt from Overwatch. Yes.
Okay. Right. Are you trying to work on
like,
it at the moment?
Sorry?
Or are you trying to work on it, or is it just like one day is one day?
That's more one day is one day because I want it to be a proper build, like full on armor, basically towering over people. Because Reinhardt has a giant hammer, giant armor, and he can shout random phrases however he likes, and I resonate with that.
Wasn't Reinhardt
Like-
also the guy who built the Warhammer Space Marine? Alright, never mind.
Right. Is also a character on Attack on Titan.
There was a dude who created the Warhammer 40k guy.
Oh,
Space Marines. He did a damn good job of it as well.
oh, that's insane.
Reinhardt is
He's the
the.
word bearer, so you can imagine. You know, the word bearers are like the biggest Space Marines.
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
I think is
They're
the
dead.
armored Titan in Attack on Titan, or is it the?
But also, it's because as Reinhardt in the game, in Overwatch, the game, one of his voice lines is catchphrase, and I just want to
Catchphrase.
run around shouting out catchphrase and see if people
Catchphrase.
think I'm saying catchphrase or if they know the reference.
That is his catchphrase.
Some people
obviously.
will get it. Some people will get it.
His catchphrase is catchphrase. It's great.
Any other future plans or goals you're looking forward to?
In terms of cosplay or just
Yeah,
general
in
life?
terms of geek culture or life.
Geek culture. So she wants me to Haley wanted me to dress up in another cosplay, I think, once upon a Beast Boy. Yep, she wants me to Beast Boy.
Okay.
Haley wants me to dress up as Beast Boy from Teen Titans. I'm still not sure which rendition. Okay. Okay, cool.
And who's she gonna dress up as?
She's gonna dress up as Raven.
Raven, okay.
Just because everyone agrees that Beast Boy and Raven are a ship. Like, BB Ray is canon. When? Wait, in which comic? Okay, it's canon. Okay, it's canon. She's not allowing me to deny or question it. It is canon.
Don't ask questions. Don't at her.
Never ask questions.
Never ask questions. But and then in life, it's saving up and moving out, I guess. Because right now, again, I've stayed in this. I wish I took the measurements of my room. It's literally, I can stretch across my room. That's how.
Oh, no.
That's how big it is in terms of width.
Jeez.
Width is.
You're living in a tuna can.
Living in a tuna can. But yeah, no, it's been So once upon a time, it used to be the room for ironing, and then when I got older, they were like, "Well, you can't just stay in your room anymore, so we'll make a room for him." So they turned it around, and the funny thing is, I'm kind of cozy. I enjoy it. It's got a nice ambience, but now it's like I'm getting older. I need to move out. Move out of your parents' place. I have a girlfriend now. She's making me mention that as part of the.
Everyone watching Thomas Taken. Didn't get that before.
Yes, I have my Spider-Gwen, guys. Miles is unavailable. But yeah, other than that, I'm just seeing where life takes me. There's a lot of more countries I want to travel to after the experience of going to Mauritius. Because I always wanted to travel, but I never had the means or the funds at the time. And then when the work was like, we'd like you to go to Mauritius, I was like, ooh. Because at that point, I worked as a contractor, and the contract came to an end. So it was between... So at the end of the time, I went for an interview for a different department in the same company, and then this Mauritius contract 6 months came up. So then they asked me eventually, like, so Tom, we know you have this going on for you, and they want to take you on. It's a permanent job and everything, but there's also this Mauritius job that's available. And they gave me like 3 days to like just think about it, and I was speaking to my parents and everything, and I realized I always keep shouting I want to see the world. Let me just go for it, And other friends are telling me like, you're young, so you can always find another job and everything. So just do what you love, what your heart tells you. So I was like, I'm sorry, permanent job, but Mauritius is calling me. And ever since then, I'm like, I want to see more of the world. I want to see more.
A lot more to see.
Yeah. Mauritius is beautiful. I have been there.
Yeah,
so I get why you wanted to go there and why you stayed there. And I think that's also what started my thing to actually want to travel, because we did it for the Spice Islands when I was younger, and I was like you, I wanted to see the rest of the world. And if that's something that you want to do, then you need to just do it. I know it's not as easy as just doing it, but just do it.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing was when Kez and I did that whole long Kern walk.
Oh my God. We're still not finished with it.
To show you guys what the country actually looks like up this side, and give you an idea of what you can actually come and see when you come and visit us. You were smart, you see. We're smart. But also, you look at how beautiful just this country is, and you understand. You can't understand why you want to. I mean, me, I've been to London. Karen's been to London. We know what it's like, so we get the idea of wanting to travel. So we get where you're coming from when you say you want to travel the world. We've been to all those places. I'm sure Tunes has been to some pretty wicked places.
No. I've only been to Mozambique. That's the only.
You're gonna have to get him up this side.
Country.
I have to organize tickets to go and do some marine biology stuff.
One day is one day, but not right now. Because we need to stay at home. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to stay at
Stay
home.
at home. Now we stay at home.
Well, no, you guys stay at home. You guys stay at home.
Yeah, we gotta
essential workers, y'all can leave home, but
yeah, we can leave home. We have to.
Yeah, we have no choice.
I'm an essential worker, but I work in IT, so I can do my work at home anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, we
Win-win.
can't. We don't have that luxury.
I'm also working at home. It's not like I'm not working, but
Yeah.
I've got writing to do, papers to publish, science that must be done.
Science that must be done and found and discovered questions.
So Tom, what if you had one piece of advice to give other people to get to your position or where you want to be? What would that advice be?
Honestly, it would be like, despite thinking maybe you don't be good enough, or thinking like, you know what, people don't really know you, like all those weird thoughts, just go for it. I mean, like with the geek community, no one really knew me. All I did was wear a Spider-Man costume, carry around a free hug sign, and now like I'm a lot more involved with the cosplayers and like you guys and a lot of Jonathan, and it's just like, jeez, and honestly, no one really knew me then. Just a guy running around in a Spider-Man costume, saying, "Hey, you want free hugs?" Which was a great goal, because I think it was the rage of the year before Comic-Con Africa. No one did a free. I didn't see anyone that did free hugs, and I was like, oh, no one did free hugs. Like, you know what? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And since then, it's like it's just been great. So if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to be in a D&D session with Adeptus. I wouldn't have met JJ. I wouldn't have met my girlfriend Haley, which again, it happened just because I gave her a hug in a Spider-Man costume. Greatest love story ever.
Yeah.
Ooh, tell us the love
That is
story.
pretty romantic.
Yeah, well,
How did it start?
So first we met basically when I was running around with our other friend who was very lit. He had quite a few bottles down, so we were running around giving people free hugs. And then I ran up to Haley and her friend and JJ and the others and was giving them hugs. And then it was actually more after Comic-Con and after Rage, because Haley was from Durban, and so a lot of the cosplayers were sitting Joburg, so she was trying to reach out to a lot of them, and luckily enough, I was one of them. Yay! And then we started chatting on Instagram, and we were talking about her goals and futures. Like, if everything goes according to plan, this year her fairy tale group is going to happen. Like, CCA gave her like a room for a fairy tale meetup, and yeah, so she's saying her goals and that, and I was telling her about mine and everything, and then from Instagram, we moved to WhatsApp, and then from there we started talking, and we realized that we love Fairy Tail. So the final season of Fairy Tail of last year, we would call each other every single Sunday, because that's when it gets released. Well, that's when it's available to us, and then we'd watch it, and then talk about it, and yeah, from there it basically blossomed and stemmed our friendship, our relationship, and here we are now. She's in Joburg. Oh, they hit you on the sofa.
That's pretty cool.
So somehow she grazed her leg against the table the one day, and now I just went like on the actual sofa.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Well, Haley has a different story. She says more like you called her and wouldn't take no for an answer.
Oh yeah, because she was shy. She was shy, social anxiety, all of that. So when I knew, I was like, okay, I did tell her I owed her one. Like, I did owe her one. So I was like, you know what, she wasn't feeling happy. So I was like, you know what, I'm not taking no for an answer. You need a friend. Yeah. So yeah.
That sounds like a breaking computer fan.
So when you're at and stuff and you dressed up as Spider-Man, what is the craziest comment that someone's said to you?
Yes, Comic-Con 2018. So my first Spider-Man costume, because this costume didn't arrive on time, I rented one from a place called Masquerade Comics, and it was basically the Peter Parker version of the costume. And the craziest comment there was when I was having like a tea and anything. I was talking to a few people. I took off my mask for the coffee for my tea, and then they're like, "Whoa!" And I was like, what happened?" And like, "Oh, we didn't expect you." Because people usually think people dressed up in Spider-Man Peter Parker would not be black. You know, they think it'd be a Peter Parker or someone of the sort. So so I was like, surprise! And then like we had a good laugh. But yeah, that was great. It was great.
Oh, it's you.
It's Miles.
It's not Peter Parker. Like, yep, I borrowed a suit.
First time I saw your Spider-Man, dude, I was like, that's Miles. There's no doubt that's Miles. That's the darkest Spider-Man. That's Miles. I don't mean it's the black Spider-Man.
The darkest Spider-Man.
The darkest Spider-Man is Noir Spider-Man. Okay.
That's you are Spider-Man. There you go. You are Spider-Man. I quite liked it, especially when the Miles came out, when you took the mask off and you were black. I was like, hey, it is Miles.
There we go. It was a recovery from last year. It was like, now you're the proper costume. Well done.
I thought it was quite. I liked it.
It was great.
So anyway,
yeah.
Who is your favorite or most admired person in the geek or gaming community?
And why?
Jeez.
Oh,
this is the question that Kez likes to make the guests sweat with.
But I would like to actually give a shout out for that to Tech Girl, Sam Wright.
All right.
It's because of her, because me getting more involved in the gaming side of things was for her, because last year or the year before, she's trying to run a thing where it was like, make ZA gaming great again type of a vibe. You know, she shifted my chair, like, because I was like swinging, so she's like, yeah. All right, so Tech Girl, when events like in 2018 Comic-Con Africa, there was the Overwatch League tournament and everything. There was a lot more hey, how you doing? She was very friendly. I spoke to her, asked her advice about a few things. I worked with her on something. I can't say yet what it is. It's still, and now with the coronavirus, there's a lot of a delay on that.
Exclusive.
But she's helped me a lot more get involved with everything. Like in January, was it? There was this company that were like they need a few local ZA gamers and streamers to showcase someone that's gonna have an opening. And I was like, Sam, should I do this? And Sam was like, you know what, you should, because first I gave her like, this is the details, this is who they are and everything. She's like, you know what, as a freelancer, because she's a freelancer, she doesn't, her income comes from the events and what she posts and all of that. So to me, she was like, you know, you just go for it, get more exposure. If you want to reach out to people, this would be the best way for them to know you, and from there you can reach out to more people and share your message. So she's just been very inspiring, and in the recent days during the lockdown, she's been doing a cup of coffee catch-ups in the morning. So her first cup of coffee, she'd go live on Instagram and just talk about life and quarantine and how the esport community is doing and things like that to us. And it's really inspiring because, again, her income is traveling the world, esports, all of that, but she's making do with what she has at home, because she can't really go anywhere or anything like that. So it's just been very inspiring to watch. And yeah, shout out to Tech Girl, because really she's helped me become better in the gaming and geek community. But more she's more gamer, but yeah.
It's official that Tech Girl is the number one answer to that question. With 2.
Yeah.
2
so that's
yes.
the answer. No, well, that's pretty much it. There's no more questions, unless you guys have any questions.
What is your biggest fear?
That's a tough one.
Top head, shoot.
Off the cuff, Spider-Man.
My biggest fear is That I become unhappy with myself in wherever I am. That's all. That's it. If I become unhappy with myself, I won't feel motivated, and yeah. So right now, I'm lucky. I have not been feeling like that. It's just a big fear that hopefully because I always had this thing that one day I'll be at a point where I'll be like bored or something, and it's like, but what more is there to do with myself? And I don't want to ever reach that space where it's just there's nothing. Even though there's a lot, that my mind just sees nothing.
You know what my answer would be? Spiders. That was so profound. It's like I'm afraid that my soul will not feel fulfillment from the depths of the work that I'm doing. I'm like, fucking spiders. Fuck everything else, spiders.
Spiders. Well, I'm not scared of spiders except for a few specific ones. It's just a few specific ones.
Little ones like this. The little ones don't bite.
Yeah. The big ones, the ones that will kill. No, the ones that are big that can kill me, I'm not scared of those guys.
No, the ones the size of their bodies are the size of your palm.
No.
Those ones I like.
If it's this big or if it's this big, I'm running away.
What happened?
All spiders are nope.
Yeah, I just go.
But I don't know what's up with this suit, because when I wear it, I have no spider interaction. But when Haley wears it, she gets visited by spiders on the window like every second day or something. It's weird.
That's because the spiders are attracted to her and they know that she's the real spider.
Spider-Man. She's even dating Spider-Man.
She's dating a fake Spider-Man because clearly she's not supposed to be the spider.
For shame.
If they're coming for her.
The plot thickens. You didn't hear? You're behind, so you're behind.
Kez was living that life that one night.
Tapestry, but I was on the 15 seconds delay.
Remember that? It's like there's Tunes, Zaffa, and myself hosing ourselves, and then Kez like 15 seconds later. You can imagine you have her laughing like that after the joke. It's like, yes.
Or answering something that already went past.
I think I have one more question before we wrap up, Tom. The next time you appear on this podcast, what would you have wanted to have happened in between that time?
Woof. Oh my word! I didn't think that far. I like to go with the flow of things. So I like the mystery of. I like the mystery. Okay. Now you put me on the spot here. The plot thickens. Honestly, right now that we get to see a lot of each other in person before like next podcast, so we get to know each other more.
You know full well that's not going to happen for a while, bro.
Yeah, I know, but
that's cheating, because what I was going to do is if it was like an attainable goal, it's like, okay, you're on the podcast in 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Oh.
That has to happen. The universe has to change in order to make it happen.
Yes, the universe, listen.
You will respect my authority, universe.
Authority.
For some of us, it's quite expensive, just so you know. Well, not really, but I mean, still, we'd have to save up about $1,000.
Money is money. Money is money.
No, to go and see them.
Also, I did forget to say, besides Tekel, going back to the previous question is also who inspires me. It's also my brother, basically my older brother, because again he brought me into like the gaming and technology of IT. So if I didn't know that, I don't think I would have really went that direction. So yeah, because he's also always growing. Like he had one company, he closed it, worked for a while with a family, then opened his other company and he started. So he's constantly growing. So he's also just inspiration. It's like you can never stop learning.
One last question: what's the hardest game that you have played or are currently playing?
Sorry?
The hardest game.
Besides Dark Souls, don't say that name.
I have not. You'd kill me, but I haven't actually played Dark Souls. I play it on my friend's PC, but I don't technically own it. I've never.
So.
On that point, the leaked list for PS Plus next month, Dark Souls is on it, so you might be able to own
Dark
it.
Souls or Dark Souls trilogy?
I think it's just Dark Souls or Dark Souls Remastered or something.
Well, I want the entire trilogy.
The hardest game I've ever played. What game have I almost rage quitted on?
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but then Mortal Kombat with a keyboard is 10 times more difficult than Mortal Kombat with a controller.
Oh, with a keyboard.
Really?
Okay, when quarantine is over, we are getting 2 controllers, and we will see who is the ultimate Mortal Kombat champion between us.
Eddie versus Tom.
Yeah.
We need to be invited to this championship. It needs to be posted all over social media. We need to make bets. We need to get a license for gambling.
I'll make it a big giveaway.
I vote Eddie just because.
You would never make Kez and I would never make bets or do that because people would bet on her and they would lose. They would bet on her and they would lose. She button mashes. Believe me, you don't want to play with her because you will always kick her ass if she button mashes. And anyone who's watched the streams knows that I kick her ass every time.
So is that the game where you've just gone like, no, that's it, I'm touching it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the fact that it's a lot. The combos are a lot more weirder to perform with the keyboard and a mouse. Well, not even like mouse, but just the keyboard. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my Overwatch and Hades and all my other simpler. I can work with the keyboard games because
makes more sense.
Who wants to know what Kez's one is?
Everyone knows what mine is. I'm not going to say it again.
It's Bloodborne.
In this tune.
She fucking hates Bloodborne.
Tunes it out on that one.
Yeah.
I've played further than she has. That's how much she does not like the game.
Oh jeez.
That would make sense.
That's actually the same with Mortal Kombat for you.
Yet.
Oh right.
What happened?
It's the timey-wimey things. I'm replying to you a thing before you hear the actual wording. That's gonna be great.
The timelines. The streams are not connecting properly.
Unfortunately, the timelines will never match properly.
Even if we had 100 meg per second live.
You still got that.
Which we do actually.
We have 30.
Oh, we only have 100 because of the whole double up during quarantine. Once it's gone away, we're going back to 50. Much sadness.
Oh. You're still privileged. People out here with 10 up and 1 down.
I like to say this. Whenever people mention like I'm privileged, they're like, no, this is my parents' house. Once I move out, all that's coming with me is my computer, whatever I have in my room, but not the internet. The internet stays with my parents.
Okay, so we're going to do the plugs and all that crap like we do always. Crap for us, nice for you. Right, Tom, where can everyone find you?
Well, the main social media, so Instagram, which is number 4, Twitter, which is ChickenWingerZ, Twitch, and that's it. Yeah.
Why is your Instagram number 4?
Number 4. The origin story of number 4 is actually a nice one because basically when me and my friends were much younger, like back in primary school, the TV show Kids Next Door was showing on Cartoon Network.
Okay.
Code name Kids Next Door was playing Cartoon Network, so we caught onto the thing. So eventually, two of my best friends and I gave each other the code names. We gave my one best friend's sister number 3. I was number 4, and then my main best friend was number 1.
Main best friend.
No, like
Main best friend.
yeah, the main like this is the guy like my main best. I say main because he's even like right now we don't talk as much as I talk with a lot of other people. But whenever we meet up or have sushi or anything, like it's like, bro, what? I just saw you yesterday type of vibe. You know, like
Yeah.
we. One is that's why I say like the main, like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
What?
like sometimes when we have sushi meetings, with our girlfriends, basically it's a date with me and him, and then our girlfriends are like just sitting there, like guys, we exist too. You can stop talking to each other, like we're here. It's like nope, it's just me and my best friend.
Haley's supposed to be your best friend.
Yo,
Haley is my best
you're
friend.
starting shit now, Kez. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, Haley is my best friend, just not the man. She's the girlfriend.
Kez just stirring the pot. Ignore that.
Kiss. Beneath that sweet exterior is something much more sinister going on.
But no, also wanted to say thank you guys for impromptu. Like I really didn't expect it. When you're like, okay, fine, you're coming on the podcast. I was like, so thank you guys for the experience. Seriously, it's been an honor.
Thank you for joining.
I always look to you guys for great guidance, and I will, even though as you said, whenever it comes to a podcast, I should just dive right in. But I'm learning a lot. So really, thank you guys.
It's fine to do your research. Yeah, it's fine to do your research. But just don't overdo it. Don't be like, okay, I need to learn every single thing before I start. No, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that can actually tire you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me. I'm a doctor.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
I'm the doctor. I'm the doctor.
He's a doctor.
I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm a different kind of doctor.
Doctor Who.
Don't ask me to deliver a baby. You can ask me to write a scientific paper, but turn it on.
If you want to study some fish and stuff like that, that's you.
That I can do, yeah.
Nice.
That's
So there's this game called Subnautica.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right, Chinty.
Yeah. You can find me at Geekoscopy all over the internet on all the relevant places except MSN and Yahoo and Dig and places like you won't find me there, but you'll find me in the relevant places.
All the irrelevant places.
Yeah. And what about you guys?
I'm looking very carefully, but I don't know what she's writing. There you go.
Funny story.
And
Speaking.
you can find all the
sorry.
episodes of the Geek-Inspired Podcast on our Discord channel. You can also find it on our YouTube channel where we are currently live streaming as well. And you can find it on all the audio platforms like Spotify and iTunes, I think.
Anchor,
and
Apple Podcasts.
and all that way, wherever you find it, will be the Geek-Inspired Podcast, and this one will be available next week.
Yep.
I think.
Oh, right now on Twitch.
Or on YouTube after the.
And
Also,
YouTube.
Giannis, funny story. Speaking of all the relevant ones, I don't know if it was 2 weeks back or something, but I got a notification from one of my older emails about my MySpace account, and I was like, it still exists.
You still have one.
Like I've had one long ago. I just never went on it.
Yeah. I've never had one.
Yeah, I got a notification.
I need to actually Google to see whether you can make one and then make one. Just see what it looks like. It's a relic.
Yeah.
It's a dinosaur of technology.
It is. The creator's become now a photographer.
Oh, of MSN.
Yeah. No, wait, of MySpace.
Oh, MySpace. I don't think MSN.
Yeah, no. The creator of MySpace, the guy, I think Tom. Yeah, yes, his name is Tom. He started. Since he stopped MySpace, he's gone to do photography and like all those special things. Like
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're just trying to see if Ziad has a question for you before we leave the stream completely.
yeah.
We're trying to see. We
Ziad,
don't know yet.
It's still
He has a
Ziad
bit
is back.
I'll tell Magazine, if you want me to, I will somehow cosplay the Kaiba. The Seto Mthambo. Okay, Haley. Oh, by the way, Giannis's cat needs a Natsu costume.
I can do that.
There you go, sorted.
Okay.
I will
Get-
gladly.
Natsu is gonna be Natsu at the next convention.
Natsu's gonna be Natsu.
Well, we can't be in silence. No, it's not over. He's responding a bit to the questions. I just got back. Haha. Oh man, the stream's over. We're waiting for you to give us a question.
We're waiting for you to revive the stream from the ground. Be the necromancer.
Then we're gonna have to say all the vibes and everything.
We're not closing
No,
off. We're not
anybody
giving
can
all
do
the
that.
details again. That's just point.
No.
That could be plug 2.0.
No. No.
We will
Alright,
be on
so-
the future social media platforms. We will be on
They want me to sing a
Amazon
Bollywood song.
Echo. We will be on VR chat or whatever social media that's going to be on. We're going to be on Neuralink. We're going to be on all the future social media platforms.
No.
We're going to be on
So,
Twitter
while-
too.
While we're waiting, I think, so that everyone can see proof that you are taken, Haley on the camera for like a second.
Haley, for a second, to prove to the world
That you
that
exist.
I am
You exist.
pretty much taken and you exist. Please, come on camera. For a second.
He's putting you on the spot. We're sorry.
It's
Yeah.
me putting her on the spot. You can
We
hate
do
it.
one of
Alright,
these.
fine. Just for a second.
There we go. She exists.
I can't
Yeah.
hear you guys. This
It's
thing
not an
doesn't-
AI.
you waved to the wrong hand. You waved at the hand off the camera.
Hi guys.
Hey, she's new to this. Hello.
He took the
Hello.
pillow at me.
Okay, I've got great. He didn't
Yep.
get a chance to hear it earlier, but what has it been like to stream and how long have you been streaming for?
So, I basically properly started streaming last year, and the other one was how it's been. It's been interesting. I've had fluctuations of good days, bad days, and honestly, it's all a learning curve. Right now, Twitch is pretty much a very saturated place in terms of streamers. So it's not like I'm expecting, as everyone say, to grow like, oh, new person streaming, let's watch them. But it's really been quite the experience, I must say. And just in general, if you want to start, because I remember he did say he might want to start streaming. If he wants to start, he should. The arts and crafts section of Twitch is amazing, and he just make it
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
He
Ziad
says
should be able
he
to
looks
pull it
forward-
off.
He also says that he looks forward to watching you. How often do you stream? There's two other questions, but answer that one.
Okay, how often do I see? Honestly, the strict schedule, even with the quarantine right now, it's still a bit on and off. But honestly, I can say is like when I get time, when I can like actually just sit down, chill, when it's quiet.
Yeah.
Or when you need to stream, yes.
Another question is, what are your thoughts on VR? Do you ever see yourself being a part of that world?
So I have VR chat, and my one friend did create like a VR character for me. I just don't have a VR set. So
They're pretty
before I do that,
expensive.
sorry?
They're pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know. So it's like if I do that, I just have to save up. But VR chat is it's pretty interesting. We were thinking. Oh no, that was the other guy. We were having a conversation yesterday where we were saying that we need to somehow get our characters also to go on D&D in VR chat, because that would also be a very interesting.
VR
Nico's
D&D
group,
is going to
yeah.
be amazing. I can't wait for that,
VR
that
chat
live.
D&D is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then he says that he's seen a lot of people do physical challenges which have helped them grow, like a push-up for a subscriber and etc. Would you ever consider doing challenges like that, like crazy challenges?
Yes, I did want to do every time I died type of thing. And yes, but because I died too constantly, I was like, okay, because it was also my 100 follower thing, I was going to do that as my challenge. But not because I died too constantly, but with all the ups and downs and being called everywhere, I decided I'm just going to rather do a giveaway. And now I'm already reaching the 250 mark, so I got to start preparing for another giveaway. If not, maybe I'll do both. A push-up challenge every time I die and a giveaway.
Hey, you'll be fun.
Yeah.
That works.
All upside. Okay, we're ready to end it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're ready to end it. Right, guys. So, as always, thank you so much for joining us, Tom. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
It's been awesome. You've been a wonderful guest, just like all of the other guests. I think that
Like
you
your
are just as good.
Story.
We like your whisking through your poo to find your. That was a very
Number
interesting
one
story.
podcast moment.
Number one. That is the funniest thing that has ever happened on this podcast so far. Is you telling us that story. Tunes, as always, thank you so much for hosting and being you.
Being alive.
Yeah, it's been wicked.
Thank you, Kitty.
And
Thank you, Kitty.
I bought that for Kez as a present.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Actually,
It's a replacement for Natsu.
because most of the teddy bears.
You
here are
can't
actually
replace
for-
Natsu with a plush.
No, but Natsu's not on the street. It's like
Meow cake?
Natsu. Plushie not meowcake. Plushie meowcake. Plushie kitty.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you,
Thank you guys.
obviously, the two of you for always, Tunes for always being here, for you, for joining us. Thank you, viewers, what I'm trying to get to, for joining us and watching the show today.
Yeah.
We do appreciate it. As always, it's a great thing. As you know, the quarantine is quite hectic, and we don't want you guys spending all your hard-earned cash. So if you guys do subscribe, thank you, but don't. We'd rather you just save your money for what you need it for. Please don't do that. But followers, we love followers. Give us those. We like that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again soon. And as always, remember, keep it geeky. Bye. Now wait until the camera turns off.
Oh, wait, off camera or on camera? Which one do I use?
Wave off camera.
Yeah.
That's the new wave.
Don't hit me with